Going to.
No.
Yeah, Chris, that was on.
Let's give her a minute. Quite 6 o'clock. Any smaller, John? Could we get these any smaller? This is a little simple sheet. Yeah, well, we had the plans before. We had the whole thing before. Well, I only don't have it because I put it in the pile of, I don't need this anymore. It's probably in the back of my car, but we did have it all. Okay, we're going to start now. Calling the meeting to order. Is this the premiere of the new camera?
Yes.
Okay. We're beginning to get does that microphone, wait, what's going on here? You've working microphones down there?
Green light comes on.
Okay, because we've got 2 down here that are working.
Well,
You have to touch the button.
Right, but I thought there were only 2 that, you told us there only 2 were working.
Oh, you only
They seem to be working. God, I hate technology. Okay. I'm Martha Baum, the vice and acting chair of the Historic District Commission. Introduce ourselves, please.
Arlene Tani.
Mark Ballard.
Not going to read the call to order. We trust everyone can behave without being told they have to. The preliminary applications, the first one is Frank DBA's. And we have representing Mr. DBA's. For the record, please.
Glenn Fontecchio.
Just run through what you're planning to do, and hopefully we won't have questions if you do this right.
Okay, so this side of the board are the existing conditions. This is from Spring Street looking up the hill, and then this is just a structure. This is the entire. The house was built mid-80s, and I don't think it was it was, from what I understand, either before or right when the historic district started. This kind of slipped through the cracks. It doesn't really feel like it's the way the windows are placed, the roof massing, this enormous deck that the house sits on. So Frank asked me to try to keep interior circulation was awful. So I'm repositioning the stair, repositioning the interior spaces. In order to make it work, what I've done is I've maintained this existing roof line, and I've dragged it out a little bit on both ends. And then in this location here, I made a single story piece that bumps forward. A portion of it is enclosed, a portion of it is just a covered porch. Then rework the dormers to create more of a rhythm of the dormers instead of me and me. None of the structure extends beyond the existing structural footprint. So everything's been kept within that. So in general, materials are what we always go with: white cedar shingle, AZAC trim boards, corner boards, asphalt roofing, yellow paradigm with Anderson windows. The railings will be AZAC railings, which are a composite railing system, white. Footprint increase, and that's kind of an odd statement because the structural footprint of the deck is already there. But in terms of building on that structural footprint, sides and this little the main reason I did this long view is just to show, in terms of the perception from Spring Street, you can see this is the existing structure. Modified, slightly longer presence, but in the same scale. Definitely subservient to Spring House.
What's the existing square footage of the building?
It says here 864 square feet. Is that- And the 1924 is the new square foot?
No, that is that deck. Like that.
And what's the
entire
16?
structural? This is the enclosed space of the building
As it exists now?
as it exists today, and this is the total area of the deck and building. And this was, if I remember. No, I'm not sure why that's there.
Now, you're not increasing the 24 feet,
Other than that bump out
but, okay,
here.
so it's just coming out in the long direction.
Going out the long direction, and then, like I said, the single story bump out of the front to kind of break the plane, because that's the other problem I had with this. is
So it's
just-
about a 50% increase in footprint. It's about a 50% increase, 48 maybe, or whatever, nearly 50%.
Yeah, that's fair. But again, nothing projecting beyond that existing structural footprint of the deck.
The issue for us would be massing.
And details.
What about the windows?
They'll either be Paradigm or Anderson.
Are they 2/2 or?
That's what it looks like.
You have-
That's what I'm showing now.
Okay.
I think that's what's appropriate for this. The reason I'm listing multiple companies is right now I'm getting anything which is
I just waited 3 months for Anderson windows and they came in the wrong size.
sorry to laugh.
It's- The rear is not an attractive rear.
Beg your pardon?
What?
You can't see it from anywhere. It faces.
Well, you can
into
see
the
it.
Barn and. I agree. It's,
You can see if you move down the road. It's a lot house, you look right at that. I think it's a beautiful job, because I agree with Arlene, it never looked great, in fact, before. I have no problem with this whatsoever, it actually does impress me. You really do have a nice sight line. That's a huge job.
Yeah, but you have to,
You're from the.
but the rear elevation is pretty sad.
that's the one that faces into the barn. It's pretty minimal possible visibility because of the way the houses are. If you flip to the site plan. you can see that. There's the barn.
This is the
baby-
barn.
That's the barn, that's the baby barn, that's another of the houses. And then this is the dormitory building for Spring House.
We're looking at,
I would think that
See.
with people sitting outside here in the barn, they would, Frank would want them to see a nicer looking view than just a blank wall.
You know, if you guys really felt I could add some windows back here, they don't really serve a big purpose, but I can do it. There's a fireplace in the middle, appliance fireplace, but I could put a window to either side of it. Guess I would say,
what number show,
A13 shows the rear elevation.
right, but what's the one that has what's inside? I found it, never mind.
So I could either match these and do 2 high flanking on the fireplace, or I could,
I'm just, as a patron of barn, I wouldn't want to
Patient?
look at that. Patron.
Okay.
Patron.
I will say-
Maybe I'm a patient of it.
I will say right now, there's not a whole lot back there. There's the bump out of the shingle chimney.
Right, but to make it better.
Yeah,
Is there something you can do that, because I can see that adding windows might, muck up the interior, but is there something else you can do to just break up the wall
on the back
In the
side.
back.
on that side that you're talking about? The elevate, it's C, C, I think on here.
Really, it's either we add windows or I do some large scale event. Because there's nothing looking out that direction, so it could be something like,
I mean, we've asked for just frames for windows before to balance things out or to break it up. I'm not in favor of adding.
That's what. That's the building we do. The big trees there.
I mean,
Been like that for
it's,
40 years.
oh, has been that long? Oh, jeepers.
isn't that fun?
It really, actually, it is, honestly. Yeah, I don't want to, and somebody add a whole window. That's,
There's an entrance there. You could put a covered porch. Would break it up.
I could, although then that I'd be stepping outside the footprint, but I could do a little canopy over the back door. I don't know that, again, I don't know that it's really all that visible, but.
it doesn't appear to be. But,
Again, it's the back of the building, so if there's something you guys want to see there, I'm happy to look at it.
You can see it from the bottom.
go, take it down, Bill.
I'll show you, no, I'll show you through there.
This is the Google area. See the house?
Oh,
You've got a row of hedges right
Where'd you-
there.
where'd you
Then
get
Dave
that?
Hausman's house. So really the visibility
it
from
up.
here. It's all the way back.
Too many
which
pieces.
one is, which
This
one?
is the house we're
Paper
talking
here.
about.
Okay,
That's that backside you're talking about.
okay, so there's all these trees here.
Yeah, there's a whole shrub line there.
Okay,
Just to put it in perspective. You see, Mike? We're talking about this backside. There's a whole shrub line through there.
You said, well, they're looking at that. You said something interesting early on about
So
where this fell when historic district was created. And it's something that's always bothered me, that people will say it's new construction, it doesn't count, or we shouldn't put the emphasis on it. And I'm always trying to say, well, it's part of the historic district and it's going to be old, it's going to be historic someday. So I appreciate you saying that. Thank you. What's our disposition here? How does anybody ready to, can we do final on this? Where is everybody?
well, I'll make a motion to approve the plans as an improvement over what's there now.
No, we're only listed for preliminary, so do you want to hold off on final pending more detail on the windows? Is that necessary? Do we need that? And then they're 2/2. I mean, that's really the-
Gonna be Anderson or Hello or Paradigm Clad White. Because, I mean, if that's the case, then what I'll probably do for simplicity is I would just have, right, come with that more into
Yeah.
the rear. Otherwise, I could submit it as a staff review. There's easiest few minutes.
Somebody make a motion.
I did.
But has to have findings. We've got to get some findings here.
Findings of facts, it's a 40-year-old 40-year-old building.
40, I know.
And
40 odd year.
And it's in a historical district, but this building isn't of historical significance in the district. And this is actually an improvement on the look of the building.
Can we add that it is part of a very significant historical complex, and the building is in keeping with the local vernacular?
Yeah, that sounds perfect.
And wait a second, from
I'll say.
Bill. Okay, any other discussion? Any questions from the audience? All in favor? Arlene,
Pardon?
your vote is
Aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Mike,
Aye.
I,
and I vote in favor. It's approved. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
You just
So
get-
how do you want me to handle the secondary?
Bring it in and we'll look at it. I'll look at it with Jen. We'll decide what, you know.
Okay. All right, very good.
Sean and Gabby, this is the Spears on Plat 6, Lot 2-1 off Old Town Road. This was just some window detail. Thank you, John.
Been here for citing massing in general. Asked me to come back with some windows and some samples.
Oh, cool.
Windows, again, I have not selected European style windows. It's the same hardware, the same technology. Base that, set of drawings on, some access windows. Basically, what you're looking at is the layout, simulated divided light, direction, bonded on, spaces, one space of bars in the middle. Horizontal bar.
Are they flat, or are they like this? Are they flat? Or do they have, the inside, the outside
Yeah, the outside.
is flat?
They are basically round. The distance,
Well, I mean, how deep are they?
very, deep on the grass, and see that on these, the small vertical lines. Plus, the connecting bars and double lines. Again, proportions are taken. My house. Distant glance or people body.
John, I don't believe that we did approve citing and massing. The minutes say that the application to construct it was tabled until June 27th.
My understanding that all is coming back from those materials.
That wasn't my, pardon?
Well, I think we discussed it all, and the only thing that
Yeah.
was hanging, so We just need to approve the whole thing. I don't have it with me because I did think it was just, I thought it was just the windows. And I apologize for that.
I had asked for final last time. But
That's
I did bring
fine.
last time. before I had issues.
Yeah. So then the motion this time, just to be sure we've got everything covered, should be to citing massing the general overall design and including the details presented tonight.
Agreed.
Excellent. Does anyone have any other questions or are we ready for motion? If we're ready for motion, please make it. Someone, yes, Cindy, yes. Sorry. You need to get up and speak into the microphone, John. I'm sorry, I didn't tell you to speak into the microphone. I'm surprised I'm not getting texts. We can't hear him. Cindy?
Oh, sorry, I'm a little disadvantaged. I just, Jen just sent me the plans. We tried to hook up before they left on their trip. So I'm just looking at this for the first time. I just interested in the full height, which it looks like it's 22 feet. Is that correct? Is that a bigger plan? I'm sorry.
Mike, do you have yours?
Yes, I do. And your, what's the question?
22 feet for the roof line.
It's 22.8.
But I didn't, I never.
Oh, I've got it right here. Not used to it.
It's 22 feet, 8 inches. 22 feet, 8 inches.
I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be.
Welcome.
I just have another question about how much of the basement you serve building, is that included? Like where the. Does it make the? That's how much we show.
See this?
Sure.
I just. I found it. That's not-
Height is just from the finished first floor to the top of the roof.
Right. so
Right.
it's living-
Right, it looks like in the one side, it looks like 2 feet, so that would make it 24.8. And on the front side, what you just said, like,
But it's within that's,
It must be all looked and we were fine with the height. I was just curious. My next question though, however, is I just saw this about the solar panels, so I am very interested to see what those are gonna look like because that's what we're gonna look at.
Sample here. Basically.
anyone else have any questions? Oh, please. Bring them up.
This is the siding, it's a hardy product, it's recycled fly ash, basically. Less expensive than- It's a byproduct of cement production. Would normally be landfill, but now they turn.
So it'll be like board and batten.
It'll be board and batten. This is what the board looks like.
Can I see it?
except that
May I see it?
16 inches, 16 inches wide. Battens. This. That's the color, you're not really interested. That is
Yeah.
what we-
Of course we are.
Well, you're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Read your guidelines.
Well, actually, it's part of the material. It's a little bit different. It's general rule, colors can change by paint.
It could, and that,
This theoretically.
that is its color.
Okay.
It could be changed, but that is. what it's affected. Probably should probably make this. The idea is to make it as little impact. and little- Told you preliminary first meeting. I really want to- Yes. It's possible.
And you think you're going to be able to achieve that? Good. Good. That's exciting.
Let me see, Jen, I know that's that. This is a fine.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Why do the minutes then say, at the applicant's request, the application was tabled?
It,
That was the last one. I wasn't ready.
He wasn't here.
That was, these are the May minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So is that's all clarified. Thank you, Bill, for checking on that. And I'm fine with this. I think it looks like a great project. And a good example, hopefully. Nice integration of new materials in a historic district.
For motion to approve. Spirit Plat 6, 21 Town Road. For final approval. See materials. $1
It's a single family dwelling in one of the more what's the word we use for Calico Hill? More intact areas of the historic district. Do you have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you.
It's raining. The garden is gonna like that. It's just pouring. The garden will like that. It was, yep.
Ballards Inn Realty. Who is presenting this evening?
Good afternoon, Madam Vice Chair. Eric Zuena, Managing Principal at ZDS Architecture and Interiors.
She wants you to put it here so the camera can see it.
Up in the corner. Like,
Same renderings we presented 2 months ago. just updated. Maybe the second one, we'll go here and then we'll move them around as we need to. So thank you. It's good to be here. This is our third visit, and we're excited for the progress that we're sharing this evening. Back in April was the last time we were heard for this project. And we left here pretty excited about the ideas that were presented or suggested by this board. And it had much to do with the tower element at the property. Both Bill and Mark, you guys had suggested the Hygiena House. So right after I left here, we took a ride over. We took some pictures of that, got a good feel of what was happening at that property. The next morning, Mike and I talked more on the ferry about what this could be. And we got back to the design studio and really got to work. We recognized that the building has some existing character of its own, and we were first cautious not to push the envelope too far with design of these new elements, because we knew that the tower element was not part of the original scope, but luckily ownership was happy to entertain the idea of improving this cupola or monitor, and that was the first thing we did in the studio, was try to identify what we're going to call this piece of architecture. We started with some studies of properties on the island. We first focused on the National Hotel and the Spring House. And those are certainly cupolas that are, more Victorian in nature with some additional ornament. And we recognized quickly that we did not want to go to that extreme. We then started looking at some residences, and I don't expect any of you to recognize these addresses. Maybe you do, but 1073 Corn Neck Road and 1680 Spring Street are two cupolas or monitors that we studied that we thought would married well with the existing roof lines of this structure. Obviously, this is much bigger than a single family home, but we were looking for some references on island. Through further study, we looked at things like the Surf Hotel. It has a unique character. The monitor actually is married to the roof lines of the building, and it all speaks one common language. And so we focused on that attitude towards this tower. And we also left here with the understanding that raising this tower was going to be incredibly important. So our tower or monitor is not very Victorian, not extensive ornamentation or decoration, but something that sort of, levels up the architecture of the existing property. We added some decorative corbels to the outside edge of the roof line just to give it some interest. We capped it off with a decorative spire that we think will just add some additional charm. And we're using this as a small signage opportunity that will clearly be seen from the ocean and on land. This was the one element that we wanted to come back here this month to share with you folks. Not much has changed with the original scope of work, which is the bifurcation of this great room, double height space, and introducing this second story or second floor of occupiable space with the rear decks and stairs that bring us back to the rear yard or the coast. All that scope of work has not changed since you've last seen it back in April. And the real focus of this hearing tonight, we think, is to talk specifically about the addition of the new design for the tower. And I'm here to answer any and all questions you might have.
Well, it says on the application here that in addition to the second floor, new exterior deck and 2 egress staircases. Where's the second?
One's interior and one's exterior. So the exterior one is clearly depicted in this rendering. The interior one, you'll have to refer to page 6 of the package, which will show you the proposed ground floor and how that interacts with the upper new story.
That's not a legal egress. I mean, have you talked to the building official and fire marshal about it?
I'm sorry, your question?
It's not a legal egress,
What's not a legal egress?
that one in the middle of the space.
Because you're looking, sure.
Well, it has to do with the fact that if they have a second means of egress. What? It is, because Martha, let me finish. If they put in a second means of egress where it should be, or how it should be, it will impact what the building looks like on the
So
outside.
they're going to have to go to the building official and come,
Right.
fire inspector, and come back here and get approval.
That's what I'm saying.
Happy to discuss it further. We're confident that we do meet code with the stairs that are presented to you. we don't have any issues with vertical egress or separation. This is like space from downstairs, and we're confident that we do meet code. But if there's something specific you want to address, I know it's not technically your purview, but happy to discuss it if you'd like.
Just noted, question has been raised.
Thank you.
I think you did a nice job with the tower.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like I thought you were. think to do too much, but not as a cat.
Thank you.
The thing is, it doesn't look any different. You should start. Really reject it, I think.
You don't think it looks any different?
No, I don't think it looks, because of the addition of the dormer, making the tower higher, the net result is that it doesn't look different.
No, yeah, it's an
the same
independent thing.
balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might help, because I thought the same thing, but thank you for your comment.
That's a fine thing,
That's a good
that,
thing.
that the balance is the same.
Yeah, but page 9 and page 11, we put the existing elevations next to the new, just so you can see what's changed, and we use color to depict the changes, as we discussed last time we were before this board. But you can clearly see the impact that new tower element has relative
Yeah,
to what's there
it's
today.
significant.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I mean,
No, it isn't.
No,
My concern is that it's going to change when it goes through,
well, it may with coastal too.
well, it could be,
I
but
mean, I think there are a lot of,
A lot of steps.
there are a lot of steps. It's probably going to have to come back in regardless.
so I would only agree to provisional, a provisional approval pending the approval of the building official and fire marshal as to whether or not they need that other means of egress.
Okay, I checked with Jen, Jen is, I keep looking for Jen, she's not here. Anything that we do has a caveat in the approval that it has to meet all of the other zoning requirements, that our approval is just design. And that's supposed to be in every letter that goes out. That we have no authority whatsoever to supersede anyone else. And if, and I don't want anybody ever using that, well, HTC approved it. Well, HTC doesn't have any authority to approve something that's illegal.
there is an interesting part of this, though, that applies, because the application says 2 egress staircases. So if we approve the application, we're approving 2
I mean, we
egress
can
staircases.
take the egret, we can take the interior
Okay.
approval out.
It doesn't
Very
specify
simple.
where the egress stairs are. We know we need 2 means of egress off that second floor, and they will be supplied because we have to supply them.
Right, but if one of them, if the second one ends up being on the outside,
You have to come back.
then you have to come back.
Fair enough.
I mean, the inside isn't, has nothing to do with us except as it informs the outside. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
planning and zoning,
No,
it's
it's
the
fire.
building official and fire marshal.
Fire, yeah.
They still and nullifies any of our approval, and they have to come back to us again.
That's-
with that 80
Well, we-
plan.
We can just say,
Seen IGA 3 times because of materials and whatever else, I can make changes.
we can specify exterior changes only.
I'd like to move that we approve the application for Ballard Inn Realty. The application to construct an addition to the second floor of the new exterior decks. As
With new exterior.
presented,
Exterior,
Exterior decks.
yes, exterior deck,
have a second?
recognizing that it is a building in the historic district.
I'll second that.
And this is for exterior changes only.
Beg your pardon?
Exterior changes only.
Yes.
Okay. Mark seconded. Okay, any further discussion, any questions from the audience? All in favor, Arlene?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. So voted.
Have a great evening.
And we'll probably see you again.
So thanks for all the help.
Nice job.
Now, the cooperation was good. Now we are back to, I'm not good at this, 54 Dodge Street. Plat 6, lot 138. This is the, what are we calling this? Rose Cottage, the Surfside, the
Yeah. Surfside.
a multitude of names over the years.
Right.
Cindy, do you know what the name is? Does it have a plaque yet? Okay. That's one of the reasons we're trying, Cindy Lasser has been very, Scenic Block Island has been the driving force behind getting plaques on buildings that have original owners. And it just makes everything so much easier, or it will, downstream as people keep changing names.
Yeah.
And we can't remember the owners.
Glenn Gardner appeared before you a few months ago, and we got mapping approval for Surfside, or whatever the name should be, on Dodge Street. And over the course of the last several months, we visited plan with the owner, and I believe he was looking at creating a restaurant in the garage space at the back of the building. They have since decided not to do that. So we've cut back we've reduced the development, and we haven't changed the buildings that have been approved. But what we're planning to do is just make it guest rooms. And we removed the cottage that was approved in this space here. So we've taken that and removed that building, and we've also removed the addition to the garage.
Oh, so this isn't there?
No, that cottage which was approved in Massing will remain. So we have one cottage that is in the side of the building. In fact, I have a picture of the approved site from Massing model.
Oh, yeah.
And what we're doing, we're eliminating those two.
Okay, so leaving this one, yeah.
We're eliminating, so that space is now going back to green space. And all of the other buildings now, the fenestration of the garage building will be upgraded, but basically where the openings are now. Not really changing that either. So essentially, everything we're proposing right now is what's been approved, but we've reduced the scale of the project by eliminating one cottage and also eliminating the addition to the garage.
Some kind of question, but on the garage building, you show like a barn door as a means of egress for the room.
Yeah. For the room, that's
How does that work?
That's going to be an ADA entrance.
Is that a swinging door or
There'll be a garage door, but it'll be like a barn door and then there'll
Slides?
be a door behind it.
I see. So it'll be open most of the time.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be a dark opening. Like a garage door, barn door was open.
What is the slope of the roof of the dormer?
The one, which door?
The rear dormer?
I think it's a shallow pitch. It's, whatever was approved before, which is probably a 4 and 12.
It doesn't look like 4.
It's pretty flat.
Yeah, it looks like 1 and 12.
No, no.
I think we have to come back for finals, then we'll have all the dimensions on that.
I think this is far better than where you were in the beginning.
I was hoping you guys would say that.
Well, you solved the big mystery because we, not, other places we read about the water distribution or lack of for 100-seat dining room or whatever it was.
Solve more problems than created. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they're happier having more space between the buildings, and we're also not, we were right up against these buildings.
What's the room count now? 15?
15, yeah.
What was it before?
I think it was 13.
Well, at one point you were at 30.
Oh, yeah, at one point we were 30 units.
Yeah.
30 guests.
I make a motion that we approve it for siding and massing.
Second.
Is that what we,
So we're in for discussion.
hold on. No, we're not quite there yet. I just want to, do we have a sec? Yeah. Mike said it.
Mike said,
And we have to come back for,
Right, we still have to come back for in fact, we were hoping to be here for finals. The original approved massing, but now we've changed the scope of the project and need to come back for your massing approval.
yeah, they'll have dimensions and, what the slope of the roof is and
so you still have the,
windows.
this really got scaled back, good. I guess may still be one of the smaller buildings on the street, which is interesting. I think we realized how big some of those buildings on Dodge Street were. Does anybody have any questions, any comments? Ladies? Sandy, get up and speak in the microphone, please.
My name is Cindy, and Mark already spoke about me.
Can you use the microphone?
Sandy, you
please?
got,
We can't hear you.
Martha already introduced me, and I have just a vested lifelong resident of the Cirque District. And what I want to talk to you about has nothing to do with this application, but about generally, if I may have a moment now, just about the Cirque Hotel.
let's deal with this issue right now.
Exactly, but I just wanted to have.
It's not on our agenda tonight. If you want to have something to discuss with us, put it in and we can put it on the agenda. Because it's a matter of notice and things that the open meeting laws require.
Who in the historic district is taking care of these old buildings, or looking at them?
I mean, put this in a letter and put it into us and we'll have a conversation.
It may not be exactly next month, but next few months.
Is that appropriate? I can do that?
I would think the owner would want to address it.
Well,
instead
that's
of your
that's why I'm
architect.
saying it has to be on,
No, I have
Get-
very good feeling.
and we have to know when it's going to be. Okay? Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Because I think it's probably more than just the surf, isn't it? Okay.
It's falling apart.
Well, I would think-
All we're saying is we can afford with notice everyone.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You can bring us
I
forward,
do.
but they also for the
Yeah.
courtesy, be able to respond.
Yes, and I knew this wasn't the form, but I'd like to be able to do that. Thank you.
Okay, so we don't have any other questions.
We have a motion on the floor.
That's what I said, further discussion, no other questions at table. All in favor? Arlene?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. So voted.
Thank you.
We will see you.
See you.
Yes.
See you in September. As the song goes.
Okay, we put election of officers on this because we didn't do it back in the winter. We're still holding. We don't have any information right now about. We haven't gotten any. I'm sorry. We haven't gotten any word from Bill at all.
We haven't what?
Haven't heard from Bill at all.
You know, Bill.
Honestly, we feel great with some, we should.
Yeah.
I kind of had an open line going until last month. Probably not.
How about your partner?
My partner had needed because,
Oh, he did. I see.
and Bill, the last I heard, was very fortunate with that. Now.
No, it's
It's actually different partnerships, so,
the
as far as that case, et cetera.
the last I heard it was the end of the summer, but and that was from a good source, but that's all I know.
Yeah.
Sum total.
Do we know where he's staying?
He's in rehab on the mainland.
I know that.
Peter Prizer knows.
Pardon?
Peter Prizer knows. Peter Prizer.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that.
Thing that was sort of blanket under this. In the ordinance, the Historic District Commission has 7 members, and there's a provision also for alternates. You might want to think about that, which is increasingly a problem on every board in this town with getting everybody together and getting meetings and people being away and so forth and so on.
You have a lot better attendance by all committees. And then just talk about one thing on the market, maybe applying to the state for some sort of consideration. There's not another town that in the state of Rhode Island that has the logistics that we want. I'm just curious if anybody else.
That would be too bad.
I think it's really important to do this in person.
I do, and I agree with you, but I also am realistic and there might be so much clean. We can have horribles. Farmers have a horrible time getting water.
But that's not new.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd say
Yeah,
that.
but-
That's why I resigned from work.
But bear in mind, Doug Gilpin was on this board, and Doug Gilpin's main residence is in Charlottesville. And he was on, I think, a couple of terms. He missed a scheduled meeting a year. Yeah, I mean, he arranged things if you're gonna do it. You know, all the three times is that notice is supposed to come to the town council. That's all that is. There's no, no, we just haven't heard anything. We're done. Oh, you had the wrong time.
Yeah, it's 7 o'clock.
Oh, it's 6. I would have been wrong too if I hadn't been in today.
Oh, well, that's good. I'll sit down and dry off and start
Well, we
over
needed your,
again.
we missed
Yeah.
your wisdom.
I'm not sure about the wisdom part.
So anyway, think about alternates. I'm not in, we,
I don't have the minutes.
we just got them. You don't have them?
Here's a copy.
I think there should be enough down here. Yeah, I didn't,
Sorry about that.
I
I
have-
didn't
I
take
have an
off.
extra one here if anybody needs.
There's a copy here. We approved, either approved or approved, moved along with everything. And we're down to minutes, and I'm prepared. Is everybody, nobody else says, do you want to take a minute and read them? They're pretty,
You're gonna have me an hour late.
uh,
It's nice to know that those pergolas came down in front of Tigerfish.
Except for the, it's still got those 4x4 posts. He's got the lights wrapped around.
I didn't notice that.
At least-
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
So the architecture didn't insult me as much as the actual construction. Not a single one of those was level.
I don't drive past there.
What do you expect? It was dark when they put it up.
I don't. Oh, see what I was talking about?
He didn't think he needed an application.
He says that,
That's right. But everybody else, if they want to change a sign, they are very good about it, you know?
I read about businesses looking on social media, looking at pictures of signs, thinking, wait a minute. Where'd that one come from? Where'd that one come
There's a one that they really messed up on.
So they go place on Chapel?
No, not Atlas. She came in to make Robin Villas place.
Ballard Hall.
Yeah, they were supposed to put the sign in the same place, and they didn't. They put 3 signs right on the.
This is on Chapel Street?
No,
You're
That's
talking
not
about
Ballard.
The coast place, right, at the end of.
every
Connecticut.
sign was supposed to be exactly the same spot. By,
Yeah.
it's on the woodwork,
Right.
on the porch, instead of the wall, you can see where the sign was. But all 3 signs not work.
Well, that's the letter should go out.
I got it.
What happened with Aldo's and those horrific signs? that we put up?
I'm gonna take that.
What?
What happened with,
The letters go out,
The letters went out, yes.
what happened with the carousel?
That's not in my, Jen's staying with that for historic reasons. I'm not getting involved.
okay, Corey, could we have, in the future, just add to the agenda a standing item of update of violations?
Yes.
And if there aren't any, that would be great. And if they are, we can update them without violating the rules.
Mark, when you say update, that's people
Updated,
submitting the forms.
updated of violations that have been issued of notices, update of notice of violations. Notices of violation. Is everybody ready in the minutes? So make a motion? No, this is, we're not, we're talking about last time, Mark, behave.
what is the motion you need? I'm sorry.
It's the motion to approve the minutes of the last regular meeting.
Oh, I'm still reading it.
I read mine. That's why I didn't want to start the meeting at 6. I was reading the minutes.
So what time?
Good point, Mark.
Yeah, very good point.
I will send you you guys vote at the beginning of every year for the meeting time.
Yeah, I have 7 o'clock written in my calendar.
I do too.
For this one,
Yeah,
That's why
but I happened to look at the agenda.
I asked
I
today.
did too, but it never occurred to me to read the top.
Well, that's what happened to
Our agenda.
Glenn Forchecchio last meeting. He came to the island and he didn't look at the time, but and I think if the time is not 7, it should be sprawled across the top. I mean, I'm used to getting texts from Keith Stover and Sven Riesem. You know what time the meeting is, don't you? You know we're meeting in 5 minutes, don't you? So yeah, I'm on the neck road.
Mike, what did they do with Dodge Street
Yes.
We approved it.
as they showed us?
Yeah.
This is pretty much what happened. Right. Basin,
Everything was approved.
Spear, it's just that one piece. That was in.
Yep.
Okay.
And we complimented Ballard's.
I think Ballard's is gonna have to come back because the second means of egress isn't legal. It's not,
I think there's a lot more than that on that. Wow.
you know, it's a fire, it's a fire chimney waiting to happen.
That's true.
That's not
inside. I know, but he's gonna need a remote means of egress.
Oh, they're
It's
trying
got
to-
200 people up there. And burning up.
I know, and they have the bat,
Huh?
You guys ready with your minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, we have, someone make a motion to approve minutes, please.
So moved.
Somebody second it, please. All in favor? Aye. So voted. Motion to adjourn is in order.
Now,
So moved.
how about the signs for Aldo's? And,
That's why I asked if we have a standing item on the agenda of notice of violation. We don't have anything on the agenda.
Okay, can we do that?
I wrote that down.
You can
Yeah,
just-
I know that they got a letter, I know,
There are others out there too.
You can always write,
Do we have a motion to adjourn?
yes, I'd made that.
Mike, thank you, Mike. Second by.
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye. You say aye, guys.
Oh, that was a good meeting.
That was a quick meeting, wasn't it?
I'll give you a gift.
Sorry about that. Well, now everybody's giving me a hard time.
Like, the meeting's at 7:30.
And it was, and it opened, the heavens opened up, so I went back and got my raincoat.
yeah, so it's really what I was feeling, yeah.
You can.